Nobody tells you that when you decide to become a trader, you're also deciding to become someone that most people in your life can't necessarily follow or keep up with. Not because they don't want to, because they literally can't see what you see. There's a saying that says, like, everyone is not meant to hold your vision and what God gave you, right? When you were praying to God and God gave you what you asked for your blessings, or what's your birthright, right? The people around you may not have the capacity to receive in general. Not only receive what you are like calling in, right? They can't receive that vision because that vision is not theirs to receive. And trading will teach you a lot about what is yours and what isn't. And you will see it quickly and you will see it consistently. And trading has taught me so much in a year. Now that I'm a second year trader, trading has taken me from 0 to 100 over and over and over. And I'm never necessarily starting over, but every version I am birthing of myself has had to gain its legs to walk on, which means I had to separate my old self and my new self, and I had to prioritize my new self. And that took adjustment. And it took a lot of sacrifice. So hi, I'm Simbi. Also, you may know me as Makaya. If you don't know me at all, hi, I'm Makaya Simbi. Um, I have variations of that name, Kaya Sim. Um, Also known in the trader world as Princess Simbi, and also Soft Scope Princess. So all of those names are mine. You can call me any variation of those, and those are the only names you can call me. But yes, I'm a full-time day trader. I have been a full-time day trader since April of 2025. It is April 2026. And I was a full-time day trader before I was anything else, including profitable. I was a full-time day trader when I was a student of day trading because it was a decision that I made for myself. And it created a series, a waterfall of executive decision making. And my life is completely changed in a year because I decided with conviction to make a change. And thus, my life changed. I am also the founder and commander in Chanel of Soft Sniper Society. You may be watching this because you were invited from SSS, or you may be completely new because this is on YouTube and it's my first video of Simbi's Diaries. And Simbi's Diaries has been in the works for a very long time. And I had to grow and go through the motions of just creating instead of waiting for the perfect time, perfect season, because it never comes. Perfection comes from action. You cannot wait to act because you're waiting for perfection. Perfection is made. right? So this is the creation process where I am allowing myself to be creatively free in expression, and I will perfect it over time. So now you don't have, you know, the pretty background yet. It's in the works. But I still have shit to say. The South has shit to say. So, yeah. It's also late. It's like almost 11 p.m. on Thursday, April 9th. I have my phone right here, so I won't be staring at the camera because I have my laptop right here with my notes and my mic. Okay. So I won't be serving you eye contact today. You're just gonna have to work with me. So, what else can I tell you? Oh yeah. So Soft Scope Lounge is what we're gonna call this podcast series. And you'll see some incense smoke floating. But I really created this because I feel like trading, while it has been around for a long time, obviously social media had its waves. So in 2020, 2021, yeah, maybe a little bit before 2020, 2018, 2019, trading got some footing with the younger crowd. And now it is back in full force because there are a lot of trader lifestyle influencers um, on social media who are maybe 5 years in, some are more fresh, and everyone is talking about their profits. Everyone's showing their Maybach and their Miami high rise and their, you know, London trips and uh Dubai trips and Cabo trips. And I love that because that's what brought me in. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't one thing you'll know about Simbi. I love luxury. I believe luxury for the Black woman is liberation, and that is what I practice. Because I feel like a lot of times people feel like luxury and capitalism go hand in hand, but luxury existed way before capitalism. And you also have to know that I'm an empress, like through and through, primordial, in fact. So luxury is my birthright. I also want to preface this by saying that I'm going to be a bit more soft spoken. Um, but sometimes when I talk, I get very expressive. I think you can tell what sign I am, yeah. But a lot of people don't get access to this version of me because they're usually irritating the fuck out of me. And when I'm irritated, I am liable to say any and everything because you're disturbing the peace. But obviously, I am in my own abode. I have the incense. I'm probably gonna light another stick in a minute. And this will be a mix of like girl talk and mystic talk and getting to know Cindy because I don't like to just blurt my life out, but I do like to give perspective on how I think and how I talk. And you're going to get to see the intellectual, creative side of me that I protect and I protect it with my entire being for over a decade. But yeah, it's just going to be a conversation. So I invite you to be fully present when you are engaging with me in this space. Whether it's when you're at the gym or you're cooking or you're creating in your own type of way or you're getting ready to go to bed and winding down or it's the morning time, whenever, just I always tell my students and my clients that it's important to carve out time where you can give your brain nourishment that isn't directly tied to brain rot and doom scrolling, right? The internet is a very powerful place. And I've been on the internet since I was about 9 years old consistently. So it's been a while. But I learned internet safety before I learned anything else. And I feel like that's kind of what is missing. Not only internet safety, but like digital literacy. And we are in a literacy crisis. So you're going to learn a lot when you listen to me speak. So all that to say is tune in. Okay. So today's episode is what I kind of open this with, right? Trading is lonely. Trading is super lonely. Um, but the silence is the job, you know? So let's talk about trading. Whether you are news trading, you're a bit further along in your journey, or you're interested in trading. Let's talk about it. Mainly the gap between what trading looks like from the outside and what it actually is day to day. Social media, we know, can distort reality if you allow it. It's very important to practice discernment when you are engaging with any type of social media content, right? You should not be a sheep, period. You should be thinking for yourself. And what you realize about life, or if you haven't realized it already, is that who you are is who you are. So whether you are trading, whether you are creating content, whether you are sacrificing your joy for work, whatever you're doing, whatever you are actively deciding to do every day that you wake up is who you are. And trading is a beautiful conduit for showing you quickly who you are. When I started trading, I swore I was zen. I swore I was like, I had already done my healing journey for 5 years. Like I'm spiritual. Trading, not only on the charts. The charts didn't even show me this. It was the community that I was in, the communities that showed me that one, I had not interacted with a lot of people since 2020, right? Until I graduated college in 2020. We had the pandemic, we had the shutdown, came back home, did all these things. I was interacting with people in very small doses, and I was spending a lot of time with myself. Once I joined communities of traders, I realized that about 6 years later, or 5 years later from shutdown, what we had kind of witnessed in passing on social media, like certain people can hold conversations and other people can't. That's real life. So obviously I'm on Discord, but before I had Soft Sniper Society, I was in an I wonder if I'm gonna say like the names. Um I don't do free promo. I was in some communities and I think people have a misconception that when you're learning something, it has to be sterile and it has to be boring and it has to be lame, which is what trading education had been for a very long time, which is why it was inaccessible, right? So I do give homage to the young rich hitters who have been teaching for about 2 years, 3 years, whatever. And I was able to study how they teach, and now I can teach it to where it's effective because I used to teach. Um, like in a public school. And I was even in grad school to be a teacher. So I kind of understand teaching and liberation teaching and pedagogy in particular. And yeah, I think it's just important that documenting a training journey from the beginning, I kind of just stepped into that because I wasn't seeing it. There were people who had traded for 3, 4, 5 years and they were rich, right? Perfect. But when I would ask them, how did you start trading? Like, I want to know how you started trading, not what ticker you started out with, but who were you in the beginning and who are you now? So my first mentor, she started when she was 18, right? And she was about 4 years into trading. And she had already made her first million. She had done all these things, right? But she was still a young 20 something year old, right? Me, I'm not a young 20 something year old currently. Um, so who I am and who I developed myself to be in my 20s was a perfect foundation for how I, one, interacted with trading as a new language, as a new concept, and also how I interacted and integrated the concepts I needed to be a wealthy, successful trader quickly. I understood that time can be made, as in I make time, not in the traditional, oh, I'm making time for this, but no, I make time, I create time, I command time into existence. And trading, which will get into like the mystic part of trading, because I feel like people don't talk about it. So that's why I'm here. But as a spiritual woman, as a high priestess, right? As someone who has, first of all, born spiritual, come from a very highly intuitive lineage on both sides, right? I have to start the instance back up. My fault. I need my incense. And I need it now. I just have vanilla going. Um, I knew better than to do that because my way my ADHD is set up. But I understood that everything is deep, right? Everything is deep. Life taught me that. Spirit taught me that. I taught myself that. I also came into trading again because I did have like brushes with trading growing up, like not growing up, but 2021. Took a break, completely forgot about it. Found out or it circled back last year. But my foundation before I started trading last year was in law of assumption, as in I know that I am source. I know that I am a vessel, a unique one-of-one expression of the creator. Therefore, what I say goes on this earth. So I command things into existence. Therefore, when I approached trading, before I even knew about candles and key levels and charts and NASDAQ and SPY, I knew that I was going to be successful from trading because I declared it from day one. Really not day one. Day one was very confusing for me. I was like, what the fuck is this? But when I was listening to how they would explain things. I was like, you know what? I like how y'all brains work. I don't understand what I'm looking at, but I understand what I'm listening to. And so I committed to listening before I committed to not understanding it. I had to tell myself, I don't have to understand it. I will understand it. I just have to show up. So, a lot, what they won't tell you about trading is that trading is mental. You'll hear it, they said it. I was told that in the beginning. I was like, what the fuck you talking about? Like, I mean, yeah, but what do you mean? And then as you spend more time, as you spend more time, you'll realize it's absolutely 100% mental. Some would say it's 90-10. No, it's 100. 100. Okay, okay. I'm not doing it insane. It is 100% mental because even execution is tied to mental mentality, right? Psychology, we'll talk about it's 90% psychology, it's 100% psychology. You exist inside of here. You could learn how to trade, but you still have to know how to trade. And to know how to trade takes integration, it takes time, it takes experience. People want to say they're good at trading 30 days in. No, you're not. No, you're not. And this is coming from someone who literally, my first year of trading, I didn't document it because it was going to be easy. I documented it because I knew someone behind me would need to see what it is and what it means to call yourself a trader and then command reality to reflect that identity. Trading is identity work because, yes, you'll understand candles in a month, but you won't understand the rhythm of the market. You won't understand the rhythm of yourself. When you are in the market, you won't understand manipulation, confluence, reaction. It takes time. This is a discipline. You are a student of the market. The identity work you do off the charts is you convincing yourself, persuading yourself that you're not going to give up when it's hard because it is hard work. That they won't show you that on social media because one, there will be losers. There will be losers who have lost for years who will project how they feel about themselves and how they did not show up for themselves over and over and over, but they felt like they deserved what the people who put time, effort, blood, sweat, and tears into this discipline to become a master of the market, what they have now. I took the mastery route. I didn't take the fast, easy, I want to flex and do a money spread on you niggas in 30 days. You have not seen me do a money spread because I am mastering the market. I talk big shit because I have mastered not only myself and not only my craft. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm mastering multiple things. I'm doing big brain shit. So of course I'm gonna talk my shit. Of course, when you come to me and say you want to learn to trade, I'm taking you on the identity route before I take you on fucking mechanics. Fuck the candles. Who are you? Are you even awake? Are you even aware of what you want in this life? My forehead booming, child. Are you aware of what you want in this life? Are you aware of what it takes? Do you give a fuck when, okay, let me explain something to y'all. This time last year, I didn't give a fuck what it took to get to my dream life. I just know I had to get there. Those are the people I want to teach. Those are the people I want to turn into snipers. Those are the people I will literally pour into because that means you're hungry. When you are hungry for a change in your life, you'll do whatever it takes. All the excuses, all the bullshit, all the, oh, I don't feel like it today. I'm not your teacher. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. In fact, don't even look at trading. That's how much I respect this discipline. I knew it would take discipline. I didn't know what that looked like, but I knew I had to do it. So every day I woke up and I figured out what it would take. I, one, killed off the version of myself with limits on my future. You think I was 6 years old thinking I'm gonna be a day trader? No, but I knew I would be fly as hell and leopard print and pink. I knew that. I have died many deaths to get to who I am today. You cannot imitate me. I am who I am, you are who you are. And that is the point. Trading is individualistic. I say this all the time. Don't come to me asking me about the ingredients in my sauce. I don't respect people who ask me about my strategy. I don't. Because I could tell you anything. You wouldn't understand it regardless. I don't respect people who ask me about how long did it take for me to be profitable. And I knew I wasn't going to respect that because when my coaches from last year, they had the same stance. They said it doesn't fucking matter how long it took me. It's not the same for you. You're not my, you're not living my life. You're not me, bro. And I never asked that. So I really don't respect you asking that because you asking the wrong fucking questions. Strategies are a dime a dozen. They're all on YouTube. That's not going to help you execute it. If you came to trading to be a sheep, to be a robot, hey, again, this not that. I do this for real. I don't need an indicator. I started off with indicators. I knew I needed training wheels. And also, I knew it was going to take me a year. I gave myself a year because at first I gave myself 3 months. 3 months in, I said, absolutely not. I need 3 more months. 6 months in, I said, fuck it. We're going to take a year. Did I need the full year? No, but I took it. um, but yeah, there's so much behind the scenes. You got to think of trading and who you become when you say you're a trader, what that means. It's a lot of staying up late. It's a lot of tears. The last time I cried over a chart, I think it was February. I was in Puerto Rico. And I was upset because it wasn't making sense. And I had a lot going on in my life, and I had to remove a lot from my life, and that was hurting. There's a lot of emotional pain that goes into shape shifting. That's what you are. You are shape shifting into a new reality, a better reality, a more aligned reality with your true purpose and your true destiny. Yes, I'm a full-time day trader because it funds the empire that I am building actively, right? And what I learned or fell back into alignment with trading last year, it reminded me of how expansive life was when before I felt like dying. I felt like I was living to die, and that was it. Because I tried to live small. I tried to do the safe things, work here, work there, do this. I tried to live life on someone else's terms, and it killed me every time. And I mean that literally. Mental health is not a joke. That's why I do go the identity route with my students because I understand what it's like to want to die. I understand what it's like to wake up and look around and be like, this is not my life. This is not what I want. This is what is given to me. And I know what it is and what it means to have to untangle yourself from living life like a zombie, like Walking Dead, and to reclaim life, to reclaim joy before you can even see it. I know what it is to create from nothing and to create everything. I understand it because I did it. I'm doing it. I could have waited until I was 5 years in to document. No. So what are you going to learn from 5 years in the future when I'm rich as fuck? Filthy rich, pregnant as hell, got 5 damn kids running around, rich as fuck. You're not going to learn what you need to learn to get started as me currently, the version I am now, 2 years in, what is required, right? So, you know, you have to reframe your mindset. You have to retrain your subconscious. You have to flood your brain with images of a beautiful life for you to be able to call in a beautiful life, for you to be able to quiet your nervous system, for the tears to be refreshing versus the tears making you want to, log off. There's a lot of sacrifice that comes with becoming a true trader. And it's a process, and money is a consequence of that process. You cannot rush the process, you cannot skip the process. If money, is your only motive, you might as well stay working because at least you know it's consistent, even though it's pocket change. It will never be enough. It's not meant to be. Yeah, really gotta unpack slavery if you wanna, but we're not doing that in this episode. But I can though. I have a degree. So, liberation is the core of anything I do. And it requires the sacrifice of limits. And when you are untangling yourself from limits, it feels like you're dying, but really you're freeing yourself. And freeing yourself requires you to trust in the unknown. It requires you to trust in yourself, which you probably haven't done in a very long time. You haven't had the chance to do it, right? In trading, there's a lot of quiet time. There's a lot of self time. If you have not spent time with yourself because you've been doing things that distract you from yourself, that's the point. Trading is probably one of, if not the most liberating disciplines you can have because, yes, it is wealth creation, which is a whole thing on itself. We'll have to do a whole episode on that. But it's also like required for you to live freely to do whatever else you want to do. I don't only trade. I'm not only a strategist. I'm very multi-talented, multi-disciplined because once again, I am primordial and I'm an empress and this is what I do. I do it all. And I'm sure there is more to you than what you have convinced yourself and told yourself that it is. We are not meant to live in boxes. We are humans. We are free. Some of us may not be human, blah, blah, blah. But we are free. Free will. And These are the kinds of conversations you cannot have with people who are not built for trading. Plenty of people are not built for trading. They don't sit down and think, I can do this. They sit down and say, I don't want to do this. They sit down and say, I can never do this. I'm not smart enough. I'm not this. I'm not that. I don't tell myself any of that shit. I never did. And I never will. Fuck. And you also gotta to realize some people feel like silence is hard to experience, but I think it's beautiful because you are building a sacred life. You are in the cocoon. No one's meant to see you. I locked in for a year. I'm still technically locked in. People have not seen me in 2 years. They probably won't. Because one, I don't relate to you anymore. I never did, but now I know I don't. And then two, we're on different frequencies. Me lowering myself to someone else's frequency is not on my agenda. Just how raising themselves to meet me at my frequency is not on theirs. So we're not on each other's agendas. We're not in each other's realities. So, what does a day actually look like when you're serious about trading? It looks like waking the fuck up. It looks like charts, especially the first 3 months. It looks like charts. Even when the charts look like hieroglyphics, they're going to keep looking like hieroglyphics for about a year, every once in a while. And you're going to have to teach yourself over and over and over. Um, for me, once summer came last year, I finally found, I feel like the courage, you can call it that, to embody the life I wanted to live now. Or then, I guess. The life I'm living now is what I started embodying then. So that would be going to the gym in the morning. That would be getting off the charts at 11. Regardless, that would be, you know, building out a study schedule. I'm not studying 24 hours. I know how my brain works. I need a block of deep work, and then I need free time to play, to do things, to paint, to write. I'm a creative, I'm a creator. I need time to do these things, right? And yeah, it was just like I would go to the pool. I'll be on Discord a lot. That was when I started getting Discord for hours, days, um, just connecting, I was building. I launched Tafari in June, just off TikTok. Started with Princess and Bee trades, started documenting on social media because I had months of charts and things. And then, yeah, I just created my dream life and I lived it. And I'm living it. And I'm continuing to live it. And I'm continuing to build on what I've already done. So my days, while they look a bit more fuller now with a lot more work to do, teaching, building, scaling clients, students, creating. It's still the framework I started back in the summer when I gave myself permission to live life now. And while I do believe that the trading community is important to have, you do have to practice discernment. Everyone is not applauding you. There's a lot more competitors than people with like to admit, not only from people who don't know how to trade, but from people who do. I have millionaire ops, y'all. Like people see you. People see you. People perceive you. Um, even now. So when you're waking up to yourself, there are people who already see you. There are people who see you, and you are a reflection of something they forgot about, and so they project onto you. It's the whole thing. It's the whole thing. But yeah, silence is the name of the game. And I had to learn that for myself because I got so excited. I'm like, I just want to, I'll tell you everything. And those people did not have the heart that I have, the soul that I have. That when it comes to visions, I'm a nurturer. You know, I'm a conduit. I like to hold things and amplify them. A lot of people cannot do that. Majority of people cannot do that. And it's a shame, but that's where discernment comes in. It's a lesson, right? So hopefully you don't have to go through half the shit I went through. Um, Looking for community and finding that I was standing in a den of snakes, you know? So hopefully Soft Side of Society is that community for you where you feel safe enough to declare things over your life and realize that it's a sacred container and that people will hold your vision and amplify it for you. And you can find your connections and things like that. That is what Soft Side of Society is meant to do. We're not only precise when we trade, we are precise in building our lives. And we protect the sacredness by any means necessary. And you will also see that you will celebrate a lot of things alone. I celebrate a lot alone. And trading is lonely, or it can be. But I think alone isn't inherently bad. I don't think you need a lot of noise while you're building something so distinct, so beautiful. You know, I think you'll feel better in 3 years when you can pop bottles and pop tags and ride around in your dream car and have your houses and this is real life, by the way. um I was lucky enough to have coaches and mentors and lovers, okay, who live that life at a young age in their 20s. We don't have to wait until we're 40 to live a beautiful life. We can have it now. We can have it now. It just requires a little bit of elbow grease. It requires sacrifice. It requires, I'm not going to do this because I want this. I'm not going to do this because I want this. And you choose that every day. I'm not going to do this because I want this. Period, point blank. I'm not going to oversleep and sleep and sleep and sleep and not eat and not work out and not, entertain. I'm not going to entertain drama. I'm not going to watch brain rot bullshit all fucking day when I could be doing something that improves my brain. I could be doing something that expands my capacity. So when someone says $10,000, I'm not thinking that's so much fucking money. When someone says $10,000, I'm like, okay, I can take $10,000 and put it here and amplify it here and multiply it and we can make $1 million. And when someone says $1 million, I'm not like, oh my God, I'm set for life. I'm like, okay, 1 million, and then what? How do I get 1 million to 300 million by 30? That is the conversations you start to have when you choose yourself every fucking day. I get so passionate about this because it's so fucking serious. Do you not see the world we're living in? The powers that be choose themselves every day at the expense of you and your freedom. So you, as someone who has complete freedom, regardless of what has been told to you, you have to choose yourself regardless of what the circumstances look like around you because you are the only key to your freedom. No one's coming to save you. Not as in, obviously I'm here. And I'm hopefully igniting that passion within you to get on your Zoom. But I'm not holding your hand. I no, I've done that. I'm not new to this. Okay? I'm not new to speaking life over people and getting them to where they need to be. I am not new, period, because I'm primordial. But what is required of you is killing off your old self who does not require much. It's what's required of you is to frame freedom as unlimited versus, oh, my freedom has a ceiling. Then that's not freedom, baby. You don't want to make 10,000 out this market. You want to make $100 billion minimum. Dead ass. So, in this society, when you're having conversations with me, whether it's one on one or I'm teaching something or whatever, I have had to build my capacity to be expansive. And therefore, if you are open to receiving that, that's the medicine I will give you. You could dream as big as you want with me. I love imagination because it's not imagination. Imagination creates reality, not the other way around. So, this calling, you'll see that a lot of traders are spiritual, whether they are Christians or whatever. You have to believe in something bigger than you, not only a creator, but everything. You got to understand that what you were taught was to keep you small. So you have to learn a lot so your capacity can expand and you can receive much more than you could ever ask or think. Then, yes, some people will go to the Bible, some people will go to the Quran, some people will go to hoodoo and all the traditional routes, or they'll go Baha'i or I think it's called Omni or whatever. Whatever you gotta do, you need to believe in something bigger than you so that you can be bigger than you right now. You can do universal laws, laws of assumptions, beautiful. That's my thing. Law of oneness, law of whatever. You can go to science route. You can go to art route. You just need to believe in something bigger than you now. So when it gets hard, you're not tapping out because you have nothing to anchor to. You'll realize the cost of the calling is everything. And you'll realize you'll lose everything to gain everything. And that is the sacrifice that you need to be willing to make. If you're not willing to lose comfort, then you are not ready to receive true comfort. Your comfortability at the moment is actually discomfort. and it's uncomfortable as hell, but you are convince yourself and gaslit yourself that you are comfortable where you are at. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because I can't even say the words poor without you getting triggered. You're not comfortable. You are a victim of capitalism. So instead of remaining a victim, you have to free yourself and do what it requires and what you have to do to get to where you need to be. And then you can be comfortable. Life, ooh, my throat chakra. Ah, life does not owe you comfortability. You earn it. That's not saying you gotta do jumping jacks at 5 o'clock in the morning and work yourself to the fucking bone. It's just saying you gotta put in a little bit of fucking elbow grease. I'm gonna say elbow juice. Elbow grease and a little bit of mental reshaping so that you are able to receive all that is your birthright. But yes, the cost of the calling is everything. To gain everything, you have to lose everything over and over and over and over until it's gone. Then you have space to receive what is yours, what is truly yours, not what was passed down to you or what someone convinced you that is yours or what someone told you. Now you know for yourself what is yours because you earned it. To wrap this all up, the market does not owe you ease. Trading doesn't have to be easy. Who the fuck are you? If trading was easy, everyone would do it. Everyone would be millionaires. Trading is not meant to be easy. The market doesn't owe you ease. You owe the market discipline. You owe the market your best self. You owe the market precision and how you execute, and then you get paid. Sure, you might have beginners like, oh, I clicked on the buy candle and I held it, and okay, that's not gonna last for very fucking long. There's so many forces at play, which we'll talk about later. So many forces at play. The market is forever shifting. That does not mean you have to shift with it. You have to know who you are, regardless of what reflects outwards. You have to be solid and you have to be okay with that version of you that is the multimillionaire has to be built from scratch. You will learn and you will earn access to a lot. I have access to a lot of things because I showed up, I asked questions, and I was authentic. So I have contacts on my phone of people who make a whole lot of fucking money and don't do much. I have a block list in my phone of people who make a whole lot of money and do too fucking much to be on my fucking nerves. But every space that I am in, I've earned the right to be there. And it was a lonely road to the top, and I'm still going. And it's not easy. It hasn't gotten easy yet. It's gotten boring. It hasn't gotten easy yet. And I'm really not in anticipation of it being easy anytime soon. But I have built the strength and discipline required that even if it gets harder, I'm still going to persevere. And if it gets easier, then I earned that. Training has no choice but to work out. And so it's been working out and it will continue to work out because it doesn't have a choice. I run shit. I run shit. So if you found this episode, you might be that person. I don't know your gender. But trading will teach you so many beautiful things. And I want to document it. And I want to have these conversations, whether we call it a podcast or just chats with Cindy in the Soft Scope Lounge. You're not as alone as the job the trading makes you feel. And I think that's the most important part. Like, it is lonely, but you're not alone in that journey. Everyone who has made millions of dollars has had to go through the hero's journey. They have had to sacrifice, they have had to do the long nights. It is a rite of passage in soft sniper society. Is a container so that you feel supported on this journey. I want nothing more than to be on a yacht in Monaco and being able to call one of you and be like, hey, pick me up in that fancy car at 6 p.m. Let's go around. I don't know. I don't drive, y'all, so whatever. Let's go vroom vroom. You feel me? I want nothing more than that. I want nothing more than to be like, hey, come to my temple in Brazil. Come watch these badass kids. And I want the same for you. I truly believe in a liberated future, and I'm building it in the now. And I believe that you have the capability to do the same. And I want to support you on this journey, and I want to be supported as well. And, you know, we got a lot to look forward to. A lot of destruction, a lot of rebirth. And I want to see you on the other side. So I'll see you at the top, or I'll see you in next episode. Besitos. Bye.